Hello guys, I hope everybody is able to see me, hear me and see the screen properly. Can I get a quick confirmation on chat? क्या सबको मेरी आवाज क्लियरली सुनाई दे रही है? अगर yes तो प्लीज चैट पे confirmation दीजिए. Okay, thank you Divya. What about others? I hope everybody is able to see me, hear me and see the screen properly. Right? Okay, thank you very much guys for the confirmation. Okay, now this is the session that we do generally at the start of every batch. Okay, this is for the upcoming November 2025 exam. We're going to be starting out the batch now. Okay, and in this session, the agenda of today's session is basically to walk you through the books that are there for your FRM Level 1 exam. Okay, and also to address few of the queries that you might have during the session. So if you have any queries, you can put it on the chat section. I'll take your name and I'll address the query. Okay. Apart from the books that we're going to be talking about, what all topics are there in the book, what is the weightage, okay, what are the important dates, what is the fees for the exam also. Okay, we're going to be talking about that, and then primarily what should be your strategy, okay, to prepare for the November 2025 exam. That is also what I'm going to be focusing on. So stay with me till the end. Okay, I'm going to be talking about some common problems which students face during their preparation, be it a working professional, be it a normal student. Okay, everybody might face some challenge. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about those challenges also during the entire process. Okay, so let us start with the discussion. Okay, the November 2025 exam. Okay, the important dates. First of all, whoever is preparing for the exam should be aware about the important dates. Okay, the exam window is from 8th of November to November 14. Okay, now the early bird for November exam has already started. Okay, the early bird has already started, and the exam early bird window is going to be from 1st of May till end of July. Okay, if you are going to register yourself during this time period, which is the early bird time period, okay, then the fees that they are going to be charging to you is going to be $1,000. This is being charged by GAR. Okay, now out of this $1,000, 400 is the registration fee. Okay, and the 600 is the exam fee, or basically exam sitting fee. Okay, that is basically the fees for your early registration. Now if you go for a standard registration, suppose you are not able to make the payment for the November exam before 31st of July, okay, you still have time. You have the standard registration. The only thing is, okay, this $600 will increase to $800. So now your fees will be $1,200 US. Okay, $1,200 US. Okay, this period is from 1st of August till end of September. Okay, this end of September is also a deferral period. Suppose you have registered for the exam, okay, and you want to defer it to next May, you'll have to pay a fees of $250. That can also be done till end of September. Okay, now once you make payment to the institute, there is one more important step, which is your scheduling. Okay, what does that mean? So I've made the fees payment. Now I have to choose the date of the exam, choose the location of the exam, and also the time of the exam. Okay, so within the window from 8th to 14th November, okay, you will have to schedule your exam. Now till when you can schedule? Okay, so from 1st May, the day you registered, till that day, till October 24th, you can schedule your exam. If you miss this deadline, you will not be able to schedule. You will lose that amount that you have already paid to the institute. So please make sure. Okay, the normal strategy that people follow, they pay the fees, and within the next 1 or 2 weeks they schedule for the exam. Okay, now why this is so important for you to schedule early? Because the slot between 8th of November to 14th of November, the slot is on first come first serve basis. Now over here, what is going to be the situation? Okay, the window or the slot which is there in the nearest location, nearest exam center, might not be available for you if you delay your decision to schedule. So please make sure whenever you register, within the next 1-2 weeks, you will be scheduling the exam. Okay, so exam window is from 8th of November to November 14. Now a lot of students, they ask the query that what is the ideal date that I should choose for the exam. Generally, I recommend them that ideally you should be choosing the exam which is the center or in the start. Okay, so for example, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Okay, if you want, you can just give the exam early and close the chapter. Okay, you don't need to wait till the end. A lot of people feel that I'll give the exam at the end and I'll get 2-3 days more. I think so that is a wrong strategy. Okay, you have time from now, prepare properly and give the exam in the first few dates and close it. Okay, that should be your strategy to prepare for the exam. Okay, now these are the important timelines. Now, after that, we're going to be moving towards which book are you going to read? I mean, in what are the different topics that are there for your FRM level 1 preparation? Okay, so over here, the book overview. Now, there are 4 books that you see for your FRM level 1 exam. Okay, that first book is your Foundation of Risk Management. Now, this book tries to cover, okay, most of the content which is more or less theory. Okay, so over here you will find what is risk management, what is risk culture, what is corporate governance, enterprise risk management, more or less theoretical understanding. As a candidate who is preparing for risk management exam, you should be aware about all of these things. Then there are certain chapters talking about the financial crisis that happened in 2007 and 9. Then there are certain chapters talking about portfolio management. So you have modern portfolio theory, which is capital asset pricing model, arbitrage pricing model. Okay, some level of calculation is there in these 2-3 chapters. There are 2 important chapters in this first book. The first important chapter is your learning from financial disaster. Okay, where they're given you smaller case studies of what problems historically the industry has faced. That chapter is very important because in the exam they test you on that. Okay, then there is GARP code of conduct, which is nothing but the ethics part. There's one chapter at the end of the book 1. Make sure that you're good with that. Okay, but in that chapter you need more and more question solving. Okay, this covers a weightage of around 20 chapters. I'll be telling you how many chapters are also there in the next slide. Okay, next is quantitative assessment. Now, this book basically, most of the student, okay, they are afraid that, okay, there is huge calculation. No, my friends, there is no calculation, there is statistics. Okay, there is statistics. Over here, majority of your understanding will be tested. Okay, and there is the weightage for this book is around 20%. Okay, weightage for this book is around 20%. Okay, and overall, what we have observed, okay, is that the book, the overall weightage being 20%, out of this 20%, you will end up getting 12 to 13 questions. Okay, because 20% means out of 100, 20 questions. Out of these 12 to 13 questions will be theory. There will be some level of calculation, but the overall book, when you read, it is more statistics. Okay, so next book is your Financial Markets and Product. The weightage is 30%. Okay, now over here, okay, you will find mostly theory and mostly calculation based content. Okay, mostly theory and mostly calculation based content. Over here you will find the concepts of what is futures, what is forwards, what is option, introduction to futures and forward, introduction to options, different valuation of or pricing of forward contract, futures contract. Okay, the basic part of that. Then they will also talk about what different topics in options. Okay, like option trading strategy, exotic option, how do you price the basics of the option. So all of this is primarily covered in this book, which is Financial Market and Product. Okay, valuation and risk model, which is also again 30%. Okay, the weightage is 30%. From this book you will find risk modeling, which is nothing but your VAR and expected shortfall. There are 3-4 chapters explicitly focusing on that. Then you have bond valuation. Over here you will find a lot of calculation. Bond valuation, there are 5 to 6 chapters, good amount of calculation will be there. And then you also have option valuation, which means Black-Scholes model, Greeks, all of these things will be there in this entire book. So from the exam perspective, you will find majority of the calculation. You will find majority of the calculation coming from book 3 and book 4. Okay, book 3 and book 4. Okay, now the same discussion in terms of the weightage, in terms of what is there in the overview of the book is covered here also. I have made a slight mistake. Okay, so weightage is 20%, 20%, this is 30%, and this is 30%. So for first book, okay, you have 11 chapters. It's a theory heavy book. Okay, and next is quantitative, around 15 chapters, understanding heavy. A lot of students, like I said, have misconception that it is very calculation driven. I have not done any calculation, or I have not taken mathematics in my graduation. How will I be able to clear? It is more understanding, because a lot of things that you see in book 2 can be only done in your Excel sheet. Okay, and in the exam they are not expecting you to use Excel sheet. Okay, so over here the basic understanding that they want you to learn is that if the system is going to give you an output, for example, if I'm running a regression, if the system is going to give you an output, what exactly is the meaning of that output? That is basically being covered. Next is your financial markets, roughly 20 chapters, theory and calculation heavy. Valuation, 16 chapters, theory and calculation heavy. Okay, both of these books are 30% weightage. Okay, any student facing any query, they can put it on the chat section. I'll address the query during this session itself. Okay, now if you want to succeed, okay, in your FRM level 1 prep, okay, see, first you'll have to succeed in prep, then only you'll be able to succeed in the actual exam. Okay, so make sure that your preparation is very solid. Okay, if your preparation is solid, then only you'll be able to clear the exam. Okay, now what is the success blueprint that I generally suggest? Okay, now I've been teaching this FRM curriculum level 1, level 2 for almost a 10 year now. Okay, so what I have done, I've tried to give you a structure. If you follow the structure, it is going to be easy for you to clear the exam. Okay, a lot of students, they start this entire plan, but what happens is they are either stuck with their job, either they are not serious about the exam, or they end up getting involved somewhere else and they do not follow the process, and that is where they end up failing the exam. Okay, or they end up deferring the exam. Okay, if you're starting your preparation now for the November exam, you have ample of time, be it your working professional, be it students, you have ample of time, so you can prepare properly and with seriousness. Okay, what is the success blueprint that I generally suggest? Okay, start in the month of May, right? When you're starting in the month of May, start watching the video and reading the textbook. Okay, do not immediately solve. That's what I generally recommend. Okay, even if you solve, that's okay, but my thought process is that you should be forgetting the content that you have read. Okay, so for example, you start in May and say by June you're able to complete 10 chapters. I'm just taking an example. Okay, start the question solving in June, so that what will happen, there'll be two parallel structure that will work. You are continuing watching the video and reading the textbook of new chapters, and simultaneously you're revising the content from the textbook. Don't watch the video again. Okay, revise the content from the textbook quickly and solve the chapter in the same order that you have read. Solve the chapters in the same order that you have read. Now, how this will help you? Okay, first of all, it will test that you have seen the video 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back. Now you're going to test your understanding just by reading the content again. By 15-20 minutes, you're going to go and solve the questions. Okay, this will give you a correct picture of what exactly you have learned from that chapter and whether you are able to implement from that chapter or not. Okay, the question that you're going to be solving. Okay, every student who joins us, he gets the videos, he gets the question bank also along with it. Now the question bank is slightly one level up. Okay, it has been designed in such a way that whatever you're reading from the textbook, it is not exactly the same. Okay, so on an average accuracy that you're going to see in the question bank is going to be 50 to 60%. Okay, now a lot of students, when they start solving question bank, they get demotivated saying that, okay, I'm only getting 50 to 60% marks. Okay, because they're expecting 75, 90. This is not going to happen. It's a competitive exam. Okay, normal accuracy ranges around 60% only. Okay, so your focus has to be whatever questions I'm solving, okay, throughout this entire period. Okay, because from May till September end, you're supposed to complete your entire watching of video, okay, reading of textbook, and also the solving of the chapter wise question bank by end of September. Okay, now this is applicable to all the students, people who are going to prepare on their own with me, or people who are coming to the live batch. Okay, live online batch. It is applicable to all of you guys. Okay, so make sure that September is the hard deadline, that you're supposed to focus on completing one full reading, one full watching of the video, and solving of the chapter wise questions. Now in the chapter wise questions, okay, some chapters might have more than one quiz. So your first focus should be that I will complete only the first quiz of all the chapter. Okay, first quiz for all the chapters, and then if there is a time at the end, say for example by the end of September, if you have some time left, you have already covered everything, then you can go and solve the second quiz or third quiz of whatever chapter that is available. Okay, I'll come to the query with respect to the time. Okay, but now think about this like this. Okay, from May, so you have entire May, June, July, August, September, 5 months. Okay, 5 months. Now you have total 62 chapters to prepare for the exam. Even if you focus that I want to cover 4 chapters, okay, in a month, in a week, 4 chapters in a week, then in a month you are able to complete roughly around 12 chapters. So you can expect a range of around 12 to 15 chapters. Okay, if you are able to complete 15, then you are able to complete entire curriculum, one reading and all, in 4 months. If you are able to only complete 12, then you can complete everything by 5 months. Okay, and please remember, I have not yet talked about October. I have not yet talked about few days of November. Okay, I am only focusing on till September. Okay, so if you have 62 chapters, and if you are focusing on completing 4 chapters every week, then in a month you'll be able to complete around 16 chapters. Okay, if you are able to complete say 3 chapters, then you'll be able to complete around say 12 chapters, roughly around that. Okay, because certain chapters are easy, so you might be able to complete them faster. Certain chapters are slightly lengthy, so you might take more time. So I'm talking about the average timeline. Okay, so on an average you should be able to complete everything in the next 5 months for the November exam, if you follow the plan of 3 chapters minimum in a week. Okay, now in terms of the questions, okay, so somebody is asking what is the amount of time one should give per question while practicing. 2 minutes. 2 minutes it should be the target. So when you are looking at our question bank also, what we have tried to do is, suppose in the quiz there are 20 chapters, 20 questions, then automatically it is going to be 40 minutes the total time of the question bank. Okay, and treat each chapter wise question bank as an actual exam. Behave like that. Okay, do not behave that okay it's only one chapter. No, think of it as an actual exam, and I have the last 40 minutes and I have 20 questions in front of me, I have to solve. Okay, have that mindset, that is going to help you to clear the exam. John, answering to your query, what is the qualifying marks for each section? Now at the end I'm going to be talking about how the results will come. Okay, so you'll have to wait till the end for that section to be covered. Nirmal, answering to your query, hi, does this timeline fits well with working candidates? Yes. So on a weekday basis, okay, now let us assume, Nirmal, that I'm going to cover say around 3 chapters in a week. Okay, even 4 chapters. So what is ideally expected, that when you start your journey now, 2 hours minimum every single day that you give towards the exam. Okay, on the weekday. Okay, so on the weekdays, okay, say Monday to Friday, your thought process should be that I will watch the video plus I will read the book once. Now let us assume you have completed 4 chapters in this week. Okay, then on Saturday and Sunday, okay, you should be solving. Okay, solving those 4 chapters. Okay, now if suppose you have started early, you have covered few chapters, and from June onwards you're starting solving, then how should you go about? Because I talked about this at the start, right? Now let us assume you started from May and this is June, and over here suppose you have completed 11 chapters. So from June, okay, you will continue with the next 12 chapters in terms of reading and watching the video, but you will also solve those chapters which you have covered in the last month. Okay, revise and solve. Okay, revise and solve. Okay, yes, Divya, read the textbook that you have received, read the textbook, watch the video and solve the question bank. That is what is required. Okay, so this is basically with respect to the time frame, with respect to the success blueprint. I'm going to take a pause. Any query till this point? John, I'll be addressing your query slightly later. Well, I'm answering to your query. Hello, I'm a bit confused. Should I do CIPM before FRM or just jump start towards FRM directly? I've got an MCA and work in mutual fund analytics. See, CIPM is more portfolio driven, portfolio management driven. Okay, in FRM curriculum, level 1 at least, there is 3-4 chapters focusing on that. So even if you complete that section, it is only going to help you in those 3-4 chapters, not entire curriculum. Okay, so there is no direct connection between these two certification. Okay, so if you're planning to do FRM, you can directly start also. There is no problem with that. I hope everybody is good. Okay, now, okay, once you have completed everything from October onwards, what should be your strategy? Okay, now October month is very, very critical. Okay, assuming you have completed everything by September end, okay, then you have to do your first revision, and in our question bank, you will find sectional test. Okay, do not touch them right now. What is sectional test? The entire book wise test. Okay, so for example, there are 4 books, so you will find sectional test for each book. Solve those sectional tests properly, because this is one level above the chapter wise questions, and you will find that. And to do this, you'll have to read the entire book and then solve the sectional test for that book. Okay, so first revision, solve the sectional test. Do the second revision, solve important concept quiz. Now, what is this important concept quiz? Okay, now within the entire curriculum, okay, there are 3-4 chapters which are connected to each other. Okay, like for example, there are 3 chapters focusing on option pricing. So we have created a quiz explicitly for option pricing. Okay, so you have to read those 3 chapters and solve that important concept quiz. Okay, and by this way, you will be able to cover at least 60% of the curriculum again. Okay, if you're solving that important concept quiz, then do your third revision and go for mocks. Okay, so we have given our 4 mocks. Okay, plus there's going to be an institute sample paper which you have to solve. Okay, and do a final revision. So at least before the exam, okay, before the exam date, you need to give at least 3 days, okay, to read the content, read the textbook again, and then basically go and solve the mock actual exam. Okay, so first revision, do a sectional test. Second revision, okay, I hope everybody is listening to me. Second revision, look at important concept quiz. Okay, third revision, mock papers, and then finally the final revision and go for the actual exam. Sorry. Yes. So this is the overall blueprint. I'll be addressing the queries now. Okay, Shobit, how much has the syllabus changed in the last 3 years? There has been change. If you consider 3 years back, yes, there has been change. Okay, if you're reading the textbook from the 2020, 2021, 2022, please don't do it. Read the latest book. Okay, that is ideally the preparation approach. Okay. Hi, reading the textbook that you have provided, is it good? Yes, so ideally, okay, that textbook is good enough. Read that textbook properly, watch the video and solve the question bank. That is what is required. Okay. Rahul, answering to your query, how do we manage 4 revisions within a month for working candidate? Okay, see now, once you have done the reading, okay, once you have completed the chapter wise solving and all till September end, you've already gone through the content roughly 3 times. How come? You've seen the video, you've seen the textbook, okay, and you've also done revision before solving the chapter wise question. So when you're coming over here, okay, you will take some amount of time when you're doing the first revision. Okay, but moment you go into the second and third revision, okay, your revision is going to be very fast. Okay, revision is going to be very fast. So if you're working professional, what you can do, you can give 2 days, say for example, for each sectional test, revision, and then third day give the sectional test. Okay, similarly you can complete your important concept and the mock papers. Okay, again we have not considered there are 5-10 days which are also going to be there in the month of November, depending upon what exam date you choose. So that is also going to getting added. What I'm trying to highlight over here, Rahul, is that when you go and do the second and third revision, your revision should be fast. You cannot have the same amount of time that you give for the first revision. That is what I'm referring to. Okay, any query till this point? I hope everybody is with me. Rajshekhar, Divya, Jash, Swara, Neeraj, Mansi, Sai, Shobit. I hope everybody is doing good and they have been able to read the content which was there in the screen. Okay. Now, before I go to this, how we prepare, okay, I'm going to be talking about the exam result because John was asking that. Okay. So when you get the final result, okay, okay, it will be given for each book. Okay, book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. And what they have done is they have bifurcated, okay, the entire population who's giving the exam into say 100%, and they're bifurcated into 4 buckets. So you will be able to see like this for each book. Okay, you'll see that your performance is bifurcated into 4 buckets. Let us assume this is 100%, this is 0%. Okay, so this is your 75, 50 and 25. So in simple language, if you are in this bucket for a book, that means you are in the first quartile. If you are here, second quartile. If you are here, third quartile. If you are here, fourth quartile. Okay. Now what does this first quartile means? That you are in the top 25 percentile students, okay, who appeared for the exam in this book. Okay. For example, okay, let us assume book 1. Okay. How many questions are there? 20 questions are going to be coming from this book. Okay. Now let us assume, okay, there are 5 people only who are sitting for the exam. 5 people. Okay. Out of that, I was one of them. Okay. And suppose out of the 20 question, I got say 15 correct. I'm explaining it for all the students. Okay. 15 correct. And the rest other 4 of my friends who also sat for the exam, they scored 17, 18, 19. So do you realize I'm automatically behind them? So my percentile is going to be 0 because I'm behind everybody. So when I'm saying I'm getting 100 percentile, that means I'm at the first rank, which basically means I'm above the entire population who sit for the exam. If you're getting 90 percentile, it basically means you're above the 90% population who sat for the exam. Okay. So suppose you're getting the first quartile for the book, so that means you are going to be in between 75 to 100%. Okay. That institute is not telling you exactly where you're sitting. Okay. But it is in that range. Okay. So it basically tells you that you're in the top 25 percentile students who appeared for the exam for that book. Okay. So first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, fourth quartile. Okay. First quartile and second quartile is very good. Third and fourth is slightly tricky. Okay. Now when you go for the result, when you see the actual result, okay. So suppose these are my books. Book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. So when you see the actual result, okay, suppose you will get like this 1, 2, 1, 1. This is straight away pass because you are performing very good in the last 2 books, which is heavy weighted, and also you're getting first, second quartile, which is very good in terms of your preparation. Okay. Now I have seen in the history, okay, that there have been students who have been able to clear with a slightly erratic quartiles also. So one of my student, he got something like this. He got 4th quartile in the second book. Okay. So he was not very good with the stats part. Okay. But he got something like this. He was able to clear. So now the question is, even if you're not very strong in quant, you can still clear the exam. Okay. You can still clear. I'm not saying that ignore the book, but I'm trying to say that do not have that fear that, okay, I have not studied something like this in before. It does not mean that you're not going to pass the exam. Okay. So have faith in yourself, because I've seen people who have been able to clear, who have not been able to perform also in that second book. There was one of my student long back, he got the exam, he cleared the exam like this. He got this in the quartile terms and he got this. He was able to clear the exam. He was able to clear the exam also. Okay, now what I'm trying to highlight is, okay, focus on book 3 and book 4 in terms of your understanding. You should be able to score better in book 3 and book 4. And that even if suppose you are slightly down in first and second book, you still will be able to manage and clear the exam. Okay. I have also seen people clearing like this. Now, what could be the reason? See, it's only second quartile. You've got third quartile here. So second quartile here means you are between 50 to 75 percentile. But you can be closer to 75 also. Okay. So there have been students, some students who got similar quartile, but they have not cleared. They failed the exam. The primary reason is that when you're saying second quartile, okay, it is 50 to 75. Somebody who was cleared might be closer to 75 percentile. Somebody who has not been able to clear might be closer to 50 percentile. So it's a range. Okay, so you will find such situations after the exam results are out that somebody who got something similar quartile, but you have cleared and that person has not cleared. That could be a situation. So don't worry, don't panic. Okay, John, I have answered your query with respect to your quartiles and the result. Okay, now the November exam result will be out by Jan first week. Okay, Jan first week. That is the overall thought process. Okay, coming back to the section. Any queries, guys? Any queries till this point? We have talked about what is there in each book. We have talked about how the result looks like. What is the weightage? What is the fees? Okay, and what should be your blueprint to prepare for the exam? Okay, any queries, guys? You can put it on the chat section. Sorry, right? Dhwani, I'm answering to query. Do we have to follow the order of the books? Yes, I'm coming to that now. So everybody who's preparing with us, you must have got a study planner. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about the study planner, what we have done is we have created a particular order. Okay. That means we are first focusing on some theory chapters, then we are taking you towards futures and forward, and then towards your option pricing, then towards your book 2, and then bond valuation, and then VAR. Okay, so follow that study order properly. Do not miss that. Okay, follow the study order in that same section. Don't go by book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. Then I'll tell you very specific reasons for that. When you start your book 1, okay, there is a chapter, okay, called Modern Portfolio Theory. Okay, it is connected to book 2. Okay, there is a chapter called Anatomy of Great Financial Crisis. Okay, that is connected to your mortgage and mortgage-backed security in book 3. So if you're going to follow the book-wise order, you'll get confused. So follow the order which I have given you in the Excel sheet or basically the planner. Okay, you can follow that and prepare properly for the exam. Tony, I have answered your query. Raju, so the result is based on marks, overall score. It is based on percentile. There is no sectional cutoff. The institute has not highlighted any sectional cutoff, Raju. Okay. Now, what is our pedagogy? This is what I recommend students. Okay, wave method. Okay, what does W means? First approach should be to watch the video. Okay, watch the video. Okay, read the textbook. Okay, now when you're watching the video, it is new for you. So every single time when you're going to be reading the content or watching the video for the first time, do not expect that it is going to be 100% registered in your mind. Okay, 60, 70, 80% is okay. Okay, because when you're going to be reading it again, that is nothing but your second step, active reading. Read the book, whichever book you're reading, Schweger, Garp, whatever. I generally recommend Schweger. Okay, read the book properly once on your own, post watching the video, because that is where you will be able to get the confidence that yes, whatever is written in the book, I am able to pick it up. Okay, that is your second step in the wave methodology. Second step, watch the video, do the active reading of the content. Okay, now when you're reading the content, you should be able to connect back to what has been explained in the video. Okay, very, very important. Then validate. Validation, that means whatever I've learned, is it something which I will be able to take it to the end of the exam or not? Or you have to validate whether my understanding is correct or not. Okay, so validate over here means you have to solve the question bank. So in my entire blueprint, I was focusing on solving of question bank. Okay. Now in this case, FRM level 1, if you are able to solve around 2,500 to 3,000 questions, then you are in a good spot, because you will be able to understand what are my strength areas, what are my weak areas, which book I'm more comfortable with, and also you will get a gut feeling that how to go and prepare, okay, for the exam in terms of question selection. This is also going to be a game changer. Question selection in the actual exam. If you've solved so many questions, what will happen? Okay, the moment you see the question, you will get a gut feeling that whether I'll be picking up this question or not, or whether I will leave this question and do it at the end. Okay, you will be able to do a calculated guess properly if you're able to solve the questions properly. Okay, that is the overall thought process. Okay, so validating is a very, very important step. If you have read, a lot of people, what they do, they only keep on reading till the end of the exam. They don't solve question bank. This is a very big problem, because they are underestimating the exam. Okay, no matter how much work experience you have, I have seen people who are chief risk officers, they are failing the exam. Okay, I have seen people who have 15-20 years of experience, they are failing the exam. Why? Because they are not solving. You have to solve the question bank. That is very, very important. Okay, and then execute. Execution is the proper full length mock. Okay, if you do not follow the plan, what will happen? Your preparation will get delayed, and then at the end, you will not get time to solve at least 3 mock papers. The 3 full length mock paper is very, very important for time management. You will be able to understand whether I'm giving 2 minutes properly or not, whether I'm able to complete everything in that 4 hours time frame or not. That is also very, very important. So have yourself execute a full length mock paper properly. Okay, full length mock paper properly. Now over here, I would like to give a disclaimer to everybody who's watching the video. Do not fall for content which you get on Telegram channels. Okay, I've seen some videos being circulated, some question bank stating it is from this institute, this institute. Do not fall for it. Okay, because those question banks might be incorrect. They might be taken it from 3-4 different sources. So you will not have the confidence. I'm repeating, you're spending 80,000-90,000 to appear for the exam. Don't fall for that 500 rupees, 400 rupees content, and then you'll be failing the exam, because you have much more thing to lose. You're going to be losing the amount. You're going to be losing the opportunity to go for the exam. Okay, and also there's an opportunity cost in terms of getting the benefit of that exam in your career. Okay, so don't do that. So this is the approach that we will be following, or I generally recommend students. I'll be addressing the queries now. So basically, we need to do chapter wise test each week and sectional test after September. That's correct. Okay, sectional test, important concept quiz, mock papers, and in the month of October. Okay, Sai, answering to your query, for working professionals, can you suggest some tip to keep distraction arising during preparation? So one easiest thing that you can do is do your reading. So I said 2 hours of preparation at the start of the day. Okay, don't do it at the end, and especially for bankers. Okay, do not do it at the end, because if you're heading a branch, I have a lot of students who are in these roles, and what they end up facing problem is that there is no fixed time to come home. So what is happening if you're doing the preparation at the end? You're at the mercy of the work, because what is going to happen if your work is very hectic on a day, you will skip the preparation. Do the preparation at the start. Okay, and also for people who are working, okay, your thought process should not be to look at what I'll be doing till September. No, focus only on this week. How many chapters I'm going to complete? 3. How many chapters I'm going to complete? 4. Weekend I'm only going to solve. Don't worry about what is the overall curriculum. Your target should be to complete what is going to happen in this week. Okay, keep micro targets. Keep micro targets. Keep your time for preparation in the morning fixed. That should not be changed. Okay, if you're going to be following these 2 tips, your preparation will accelerate. Okay, exam strategy and some pitfalls that you should avoid. Okay, there are 100 questions in the actual exam. Okay, 4 hours. Normally what we see is that 4 hours is not so sufficient. Okay, you might end up struggling in the last 5-10 questions. That is very normal. So do not panic. Okay, you should be able to take a calculated guess in those questions, and those questions should be difficult questions which you have skipped at the start. Okay, whenever you start your paper, okay, make sure that you are picking up those questions which you have more confidence on, and those questions which you are not so confident, slightly tricky, do it at the end, so that if you want to do a calculation guess, you'll be able to do it at that end itself. You're not taking it for those easy questions. Okay, this is the first point. Second, expect 25 to 30 questions, which is calculation based. Now, the calculation based does not mean that it is only going to be formula driven. It can be formula plus understanding. Okay, so please make sure that whenever you're reading the formula, try to understand what is there in the formula, or suppose if I change one part in the formula, how it is going to impact the answer. Those kind of questions can also come. Okay, so around 25 to 30 calculation, rest is theory. So exam, in the past few exams that we have seen, it is more theory driven exam. Okay, in the theory also the options are very close, so you might be able to eliminate 2 options, but the rest 2 are very close. So you'll have to read the question again, read the options again, and then eliminate the option. Always do that. When you're getting stuck with 2 options, read the question again, come back to the options quickly, read the options 1 or 2 times, and then only choose. Okay, option elimination is going to be key, because what will happen, you're reading so much content. Okay, on the day of the exam, everything is going to be mixed. Okay, and also when you're preparing, you have completed 10-15 chapters, you'll forget about the initial chapters that you've done. That is also very normal. So do not panic. I get a lot of messages that I'm forgetting. It is normal. Nobody can remember, right? But what is going to happen on the actual day of the exam? When you're reading, you'll be able to recollect. That is active recollection of the content. Okay, when you're reading the actual exam paper, you're reading the question, you'll be able to recollect it. I have read this concept somewhere. Okay, and that connecting dots, okay, will help you to eliminate the option, will help you to choose the option which you are more confident on. Okay, there will be some questions where you're not 100% sure whether the answer is A or not, but you have some gut feeling, some idea, and hence you have chosen A. That is also going to be happening. Okay, now this 55 plus correct, this is my understanding. Okay, not institute, this is my understanding, that if you're getting 100 question in the actual exam, okay, 55 to 60, if you're able to get correct across the book, then there is a good chance that you will be able to clear the exam. Okay, there's a good chance that you'll be able to clear the exam. Treat this November exam as the final goal. Okay, don't keep any plan B. A lot of students, they say that I'll first prepare and then I'll give the exam. Then, my dear friend, you're giving two years for one certification. What is the benefit that you're going to get in your career after that? Okay, don't do that. You have proper 6 months. Give a good shot and prepare properly. If you're thinking of giving exam next year, you're actually putting a pressure on your consistency, because what will happen, you'll prepare now properly, then you'll take some break, again you will prepare, so you'll complete everything, but you'll not remember anything. You'll not be able to pick up the question and solve the question back. So fix and finalize the date. This is one of the important criteria to clear the exam. I should be mentally ready that I'm going to pass the exam in November, and if you're going to be joining me, that is the first requirement. Okay, if you're clear that I'm going to pass the exam in November, then only join my batch, then only start preparation with me. Okay, common problem, don't delay reading. Okay, so in some chapter it is theory heavy. Okay, so don't delay your reading, don't delay solving of the question bank. Okay, because a lot of students, they feel that I'll do the solving once I've done everything. Don't do that. Start continuously solving. Okay, follow the plan. Avoid skipping any video lectures. Some chapters are going to be tough. Everything in the entire curriculum is not going to be very easy. Okay, some chapters are going to be tough. Okay, read the content once, try to understand whatever is possible. You will get time to revise those chapter again, do the revision 2 or 3 times later. Okay, and then you will have some good hold on the content. Okay, like I said, you're not supposed to solve entire 100 questions correct to clear the exam. 60, 65, 50, 55, 60 is the good number. Like 60 you can take as an average. So your focus should be to solve as much closer to 60. Okay, don't worry about, okay, I'm getting 1 or 2 questions difficult. That will be a part of the exam. They will give you certain questions in the actual exam which are going to be tough, which are going to be big, and which are being purposely put to waste your time. So you should be smart enough to understand whether I'm going to be picking up those questions or not. And this will only come when you've done proper preparation, you have done so many question solving, then only it is going to be easy for you to pick up those questions. Okay, don't rely on last minute sprint. Okay, so don't delay your preparation. Don't complete everything by October end. Try to complete everything by September end or October first week, so that you will get time to solve mock papers, sectional tests, and all of that. Then you will have more confidence on the content. Okay, avoid please, I see a lot of people who join the batch, they attend the lecture only for attending, they are not reading on their own. So if you're coming for my lecture, okay, watch the video of that text chapter before coming to the lecture. That is very, very important. Okay, watch the video before coming to the lecture, read the textbook and then come to the lecture. Okay, that lecture should act as a revision. Whatever content you might find difficult while watching the video or reading the textbook, you should be able to ask queries for that. Correct? So please, please, please watch the video and stay ahead of me, at least 2-3 weeks ahead of me in terms of watching the video. Okay, so that is the overall part. I'm going to answer the queries people have asked. Rahul, in exam, whether questions are book wise or mixed up? It's a complete mix up exam. You will only be able to understand it from which book it is by reading the question. Gaurav, answering to your query, how much time needed per day for working professional bankers? 2 hours. 2 hours from now is required to prepare properly for the exam. Okay, any other queries, kindly put it on the chat section. I'll address the query. Okay. Yes, prepare with me. Okay. Now, what is the overall, how do generally I tell people, okay, finalize your exam date. This is very, very important. Like I said, if you do not finalize, it is going to be tough. Okay. So finalize your exam date and start early. Okay. For example, for November, you can start now. Okay. I've seen people, working people, bankers, clearing the exam with 3 to 4 months of preparation also. Okay. The only thing that they followed the plan. Okay. They followed the plan. Okay. Study from May to June, keep it 1 to 2 hours. Okay. And then gradually increase it to 2 to 3 hours depending upon your work schedule. Okay. Suppose one day I'm not able to prepare. Don't worry. Even if you're getting 15 minutes, read the textbook. Okay. Then on the next day, give your time. Okay. So don't get demotivated if you're not able to prepare for 1 or 2 days. Okay. Your focus should be to come back to the book again. Okay. Come back to the video again. Focus on understanding. Okay. Not on speed. Now over here, see, I generally recommend, okay, that when you're watching the video for the first time, suppose it's a 2-hour video, you've stopped and you've read and stopped and read and you've given 4 hours. That is okay. There's no need for you to complete everything in 2 hours. Okay. But when you're reading for the first time, do not go with the mindset. Okay. Do not go with the mindset that I will remember everything or I will get 100% understanding in the first go. No, that will not happen. Okay. You will have to revise again. When you're going to be solving the question and you're going to be revising. Okay. So more and more dots will get connected. So remember that. Follow a proper study plan. Okay. We have given you the Excel tracker. Please follow the Excel tracker in terms of watching the video and reading the textbook. Okay. Please follow it properly. Keep me posted. Okay. I'll be keeping guidance sessions every month. So please join those guidance sessions. Okay. People who are preparing with me, be it video lectures, be it live session, please join those guidance sessions. And in those guidance sessions, what will happen? It's an open forum. You can ask me how it is about preparation. It is about planning. Okay. So you can ask me a question with respect to, suppose I've done this many chapter. How should I plan? Okay. I'm giving the exam in August, for example. How should I plan? Likewise. So those forums are there. Okay. Those forums are there for you, where I'll be coming and I'll be talking to you guys. Okay. Don't wait for free time. Now this is a very big pitfall. A lot of students, they feel that, okay, I'll prepare only on weekends. No, this exam is not for weekend preparation. Okay, don't think that, okay, I'll get say 1 month holiday and I'll prepare then. No, start your preparation now. If you're not able to prepare now, how will you prepare later? Do not delay your preparation. Okay, do it right now. And there is no need for you to afraid of the exam. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have posted more than 150 videos, interview videos of people who have cleared the exam. Okay, people who are much younger than you, they have been able to clear the exam. They are working professionals who have cleared the exam. Okay, so do not have that fear. Okay, nothing is bigger than your determination. This exam is not bigger than your determination. If you're determined that I'm going to pass the exam in November, then you should be able to clear it also. Visualize your success and you'll be able to clear the exam. Okay, so that is the overall part. I'm going to be addressing the query. Do we need to have the calculator? Yes, calculator is required. There's a Texas Instrument BA2 Plus calculator, which I generally recommend. Gaurav, from when the batch has started, treat this as the first session of the batch. Okay, and we're going to be continuing with the preparation. Okay, few sessions are going to be on YouTube, but most of the sessions are going to be on our platform. Okay, they'll be answering to your query. Watching the video first and reading the book once it is sufficiently initial for first reading. Yes, watch the video, read the textbook, and if you're in the live batch, come to the live lecture also. Any queries, guys? Okay, you can like, share and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any specific inputs, you can put it on the comment section also. Okay, we have also started with a lot of podcasts. We have covered more than 50 podcasts on our channel now, where what we are doing, we are getting people from the industry and talking about how's their preparation, or sorry, how the job roles are, different opportunities there in the market, so that people or students who are preparing for these exams, FRM, CFA, CIA, they should at least come to know that these kind of job opportunities are there. Okay, and they can at least aspire to go there. Okay, so this is a good opportunity, learning opportunity, which I'm personally involved into. Okay, talking to the guests, getting them onboarded, and asking them to share their knowledge. Okay, if you have any specific query, you can reach us on this number. Okay, on this WhatsApp number you can reach. Saturday, Sunday, nobody will be there to pick up the call, but you can reach on the WhatsApp. We'll be able to answer your queries also. Okay, someone new, when will the live batch start? It is starting now. This is the first session. Okay, tomorrow also there is a session which is going to be on calculator. Right? Someone new? Any queries, guys? While reading or solving, in case we have doubts, how do we get the clarified? So in our pre-recorded section, there is a Telegram group, okay, where we have one of our student who's also cleared the exam. He's going to be helping you to prepare. Okay, so you can ask query. It is first level. It is going to be all the students who are there in the group, because it's an exam which they are also preparing for. Okay, so they can also ask queries, and if the query is not resolved, then you can reach to the admin. Sai, I have answered your query. Any other queries, guys? I hope this session helps you in getting into the right mindset to prepare for the exam. Okay. Timanshu, if you have not received the link, please reach us on the WhatsApp number, and we will share the details to you. Okay, don't worry. All good. So I hope this session helps you. Okay, we'll be keeping on more such sessions on YouTube. Okay, guidance sessions, topic, so you can also participate in that, irrespective you are my student or not. Okay, we will definitely try to help you as much as possible. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for joining in, and I hope you prepare properly for the upcoming exam. Okay, which is in November. We will be keeping more such session for August exam also. So prepare properly and give your best shot. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for joining in.